Alright, we're going to go on our test drive, and hopefully we can go in the direction of not the sun because it's blinding right now, but get my seatbelt on here. Alright, it hasn't, I did run it this morning, but it hasn't started in about 8 hours, so starts right up though, even when it's cold. And watch my other videos, in case you haven't, and you can get a video of everything else as well. So she fires right up, even when it's real cold out. Usually a pump or two, and then going up, she'll idle a little high in the beginning and warm herself up, and then when she's warmed up, you just hit the gas pedal once, and she'll come down to a nice idle. So she's only got 77,000 original miles, and she's been almost fully restored, other than the paint on the outside, which you can see in the outside video shots. Still looks like a sweet Jeep, but that is anyway. So normally I just go around the block. I happen to have tags on this one, so I can get it up to a little bit more speed. It is a 5-speed, got plenty of power, clutch is good, 4-wheel drive works great, reverse, all the gears shift smoothly, no grinding, and it's the 4.2 liter, that in case you were wondering, they actually came out with, this motor's been around for about 20 years, so it's a bulletproof motor. It's got a ton of torque, so it gets good fuel mileage, upper teens, lower 20s, depending on what you're doing with it. And heater, everything works on that, so I'll turn it off for now because it's actually cold out right now, but she's 100% stock as far as the engine goes. She does have a little bit of a suspension lift on her, but it is a suspension lift, it's not a body lift. And all the gauges do work. According to my fuel gauge, I'm about out of fuel, so I try not to run out of gas in this thing. But she's got plenty of pickup, and you can definitely tell she's only got 77,000 miles on her. It's rust free, doesn't have any rust on it, and let's see what else I can tell you on it. The interior, which you've probably seen if you watched the other video, it's been completely reupholstered. It's completely waterproofed and rust proofed, so the whole entire tub is rhino lined. So everything was removed, it was rhino lined, then brand new carpet was reinstalled. It's got a nice set of seats, front and rear seat in it, that are a lot better than the stock ones. It's extremely comfortable to drive in. Right now it's blinding just because the sun's right there in my eye. It's difficult I like to do the test drive just so you can kind of hear how the motor sounds under load. I'm in third right now, and I'm cruising about 45. I got into fourth now. She travels nice down the highway. It's got the sway bars on it. It does have a disconnect on the front, so in case you are wanting four-wheel in it, you can just disconnect the front sway bar with a little pull cotter pin, and off you go. She's never been really abused on the trails. She's mainly been used as a hunting rig, and then around town. So it's got a really nice set of newer tires on it. They're not very old. I'd say about 6 months old. Maybe 200-300 miles on them. They don't have much at all. So, and you know, I've been listing Jeeps on eBay and local ads for a good about 3 years now, and I have good feedback on there. I would implore you to look at. But basically my point is that out of the ones I've sold, and I've said this a lot, and this is mainly because I do pick up the cream of the crop when it comes to listing these and buying and selling them. And this one is one of the top ones I've ever bought and sold, mainly because it's pretty much somebody that just wants to jump in its dream to, you know, to be able to just jump in and go, or it's in a great setup for somebody who wants to make it more extreme. It's got it's got the heavy duty suspension on it. It could take a V8 if you wanted to swap it out. That's what it was set up for as far as the suspension goes. But you know, I'm a fan of these 4.2s and the 4.0s. I think they're bulletproof motors if you take care of them, change oil on them. And I would almost keep the 4.2, and if you wanted more power, you can stroke them. They're pretty cool. You can just combine a 4 liter, basically taking the head off and a few other parts and putting them in a 4.2, and you can get a I want to say it's a 4.5 or a 4.7, I can't remember, but just stock, they're amazing. They're so much low end torque is put into these motors, and they'll crawl right up anything. And like I said, they're phenomenal to drive around the town because they turn on a dime, and they get good fuel mileage for being what they are. 4-wheel drive, they're great in the snow. This one does have a nice stereo and a sound bar. I think the sound bar speakers came with it. They're good speakers. They're not top of the line. Most of the sound bars I've come across don't have top of the line unless somebody's put them in them. But these, it does have a heck of a lot of spots for them, so you could upgrade these speakers fairly easily. Now I'm going to get on the highway here, and hopefully, if traffic's not too bad, we're going to be able to get up to around 55, 60. It's a little heavy, so we'll see if we luck out here. So, by the way, I'm getting on the highway right now. I'm in third, so I'll tell you when I shift so you can kind of hear the change in the motor sounding. I'm going to go to fourth now. You can see my RPMs down there if you can make them out. Going 45. Let's see if we can get up a little faster. Let's see if I can get over here. Yes, don't ask me how difficult this is, because it is, but I've done it enough times. I feel comfortable driving and videoing. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm just trying to steady it as best as I can. So I'm sorry if it's a little jumpy, but so I'm in fourth. I'm going to go ahead and put her into fifth now. And you can see down there I'm doing right around 60 by RPMs in fifth gear, or right around 1800. Yeah, I'm going to shift her back into fourth because I'm getting run off the road here. Fifth is kind of it's a good gear for fuel mileage, but it doesn't have a lot of power in fifth. Most people who have the Jeeps will tell you that, unless they've stroked them or done something else to them, which you know, rarely do I ever go into fifth unless I'm flat landing out in one of the Kansas or one of the Midwest states. You know, you can flat land them pretty in fifth gear and cruise down the interstate at 75. But we got enough hills here, and I'm climbing up a good enough hill. I could probably even be in third now. So now I'm back into third. My RPMs are right around 2,000. I'm cruising about 45. So it doesn't leak at all. It doesn't smoke at all. It'll pass emissions. Let's see what else I can tell you about it. Trying to think. I got a nice tow bar set up for it. So it's got 2 pins in the front. It connects or disconnects in easily 5 minutes, and that's that. So I have my wallet on me. I'm gonna get some fuel up here. So, and to look at the steering wheel, it's not bouncing all over the place. It's you know, it's holding straight down the road. I'm not gonna let it go because I love Jeeps. They're not something I would let go of the steering wheel of, though. Surprisingly enough, the old clock still works in these things. They're old, the TikTok kind of clocks. And I'll put up the stereo and let you listen to that. Get a station here. Alright, so you got the stereo, that works. Got a nice hard top on it. It does have a rear defroster and wiper blades, surprisingly, and I don't know if that wiper blade's actually hooked up. Most of these old ones didn't have that. I wonder. Yeah, that's not something that's connected. I think you could wire it in, but it's not from the factory. These things aren't wired for wiper blades in the rear, so I didn't start that till a little bit later. So now I'm idling. You can see our RPMs are steady. There's no erratic. Now I'm moving, so no erratic idle or anything like that. And let's see here if I can get over here. I need to try to. So I'm about to run out of time. I'm only allowed to upload so much, and I think this is plenty of time to see it. You've seen it on the side streets, you've seen it on the highway, you've heard the brakes, you've heard the suspension. I've hit a few bumps. It doesn't rattle, clunk, no brakes are squeaky or anything like that. Engine's strong. Again, here's our idle. Let's see if I can get it to out moving here. So it's we're gonna move again. So idle's perfect, though. It really doesn't have a miss in this engine whatsoever. The only thing with the electrical, as far as the engine goes, that's been done to it, which is a really good setup, and I would recommend them if you're, whether you buy this one or not. Is it's got a different coil pack on it. It's off a 4-liter instead of the 4.2, and it gives it a lot better timing. That's why it runs so much smoother. That's why it starts up so easy. And that's why it runs down the highway so well. So you can look at the forums online, and it will tell you, it will explain that a little bit more to you, and I can even answer some questions about it for what I know about it. But so if you have any other questions about it, call me 720-987-8772, 720-987-8772, and we're asking what it's easily worth. I mean, this here, these are collectors now, and they're hard to find in good shape that run this good, that have this low miles, and they have all the options that this one has on it. So, I know you can get a Jeep Wrangler for $3,000 or $4,000. I've seen them. I've bought them before for that. But I've never bought one for that that's been in as top shape as this is. You're going to spend a little bit more, but it's well worth it. And I do appreciate you watching my videos, and just like I say in the ad, I guarantee my stuff. I don't sell crap, so I set up all the shipping for you. All you have to do is send me a check, and I send it to you. You can look at my feedback. You can even come out to Colorado. You can drive it home if you want. I usually don't recommend people driving Jeeps across the country, but if you want to do it, you can do it. Or it's got the tow bar set up. If you want to drive your truck out here and tow it home, then that would be fine too. So I'm gonna flip a U-ey here and call this a day. So appreciate it. Thanks a lot, buddy.